Hello, everybody. I thought I'll send out another thought, which has been on my mind since quite some time, and the idea is about violence. Now, this is something which has been spoken about quite subtly, but something that is to be arrived at with sufficient meditation on the matter. But this has been mentioned in the Upanishads largely, and that is to do with what really is violence. What I'm finding very often, and from sufficient consideration of the Vedas, and which I hope you would come to appreciate, is that violence really is thinking thoughts which is not your thoughts, which is not of the present moment. Anything which takes you away from what is of the present moment, and which is not in truth inconducive to what is the most warmth, which is the most loving of your own self, and also in consideration of what is around you, of what is of the present moment again, but in a considerative, mindful manner, is violence. And and there's a certain feel to it, there's a certain strength to it, there's a certain tension by which you can say, this is mine versus somebody else's. This is my emotion versus somebody else's. And you can feel it as a discomfort in your tissues, in your breath, in your experience of being able to be in the present moment, in a certain that would tell you of a violence that takes you away from the present moment. There is also a certain there's another way by which you can know there is violence, and that is when you are I wouldn't really say the word daydreaming, but it's a form of spacing out. You're spaced out to something that's other than the present moment. So now that can be either you are having some discomfort because of which you're not able to be in the present moment, which is a violence from within, which is just showing up, or there has been a violence against you in the present moment because of which your attention is hijacked by the energy of people in the environment, or by the it could also be that it's a highly electromagnetic field, like there is a lot of gadgets going on, so that it causes a certain energetic heaviness in the air, so that you cannot be there in the present. That it's a kind of it's a kind of a fission reaction where it is difficult, where the energy is too much than you can handle for a person to be able to be in the present. So that's also a violence, and a person may need due anti-radiation protection, so to speak, to be able to be in the present. But so that's also a form of violence. Yeah. So what I'm inquiring here is I'm beginning to voice my thoughts, but also perhaps beginning to invite people to think about what really violence would be in everyday moments of living. What does violence feel like? And it may not be something like, like somebody is hitting somebody, or somebody is verbally abusing somebody, or it may be very subtle, to which may be giving rise to difficulties in just a person's experience of living. If there is a discomfort that is causing that, then there is to that extent that's a consequence of violence. Somebody's experience of living is not well enough. So now that could be violence from within, or it could be violence from outside. But it's happening in the present moment. So I'm hoping to, by this video and by these conversations, to perhaps begin the conversation into inquiring what is violence in everyday moments of living. And it may be different for different person, but the experience will be unique, will be subjective. But it's the experience of one person. What does violence mean to one person, and what does non-violence look and feel like? So I'll leave us with this thought, and I will continue further, as in how I'm able to bring more clarity in words, or in a better way to communicate what I'm thinking about this thought. But I think this is a conversation which is very important for us to be having when we're thinking in terms of quality of living, in terms of experience of living, and to see what does it require, what are the necessities for living as against surviving life, and what would be required for us to subsist among this force called life, and what takes us away from our ability to exist.